If you've spent any time online lately, you've probably been bombarded with the AI side hustle explosion. I mean, the promise is everywhere, right? Passive income, easy money, all supposedly powered by just a few clicks. But how much of that is actually real? I've been digging into it, and what I found might surprise you. So let's separate the hype from the reality of the hustle. You see numbers like this thrown around constantly. It feels like a digital lottery ticket. Reports from places like Duplo.com are spotlighting solo entrepreneurs who are supposedly banking $15,000 a month, or even more, just by fiddling with a few simple AI tools. It sounds absolutely incredible, and honestly, it should. And that's the $15,000 question, isn't it? Can an average person, someone without special connections or a huge following, actually pull this off? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out, by looking at the data and listening to stories from people who are really doing the work. What we're witnessing right now is nothing short of a full-blown digital gold rush. Investors are just shoveling billions into AI. And all over the internet, you have these gurus selling what they claim is the map to the treasure, promising that pretty much anyone with a laptop can strike it rich. And the claims, they are just astronomical. And this is the dream they're pitching. It's not just one thing. They're selling an entire ecosystem of what looks like easy money. We're talking content creation, visual design, even full-on video production and custom chatbots. I mean, look at these numbers. They're promising life-changing income, pushing well into the five-figure range every single month. This is the bait. So let's dive into one of the most popular and seemingly easy entry points, creating and selling AI-generated stock photography. It sounds simple enough. You type a prompt, you generate an image, you upload it for sale. Passive income for days, right? Well, not so fast. This quote from a user on Reddit is a massive reality check. This person did everything they were supposed to. They put in the work, got over 100 images accepted on a major platform, and made nothing. Zero. It's like building a beautiful art gallery in the middle of a desert. So why is it so hard to get noticed? It comes down to two words: market saturation. And it's not just crowded, it's completely flooded. Think about this for a second. It took human photographers 20 years to upload 342 million photos to Adobe Stock. It took AI just 3 years to upload almost the same amount. You're not just competing anymore. You're trying to shout in the middle of a hurricane of content. And this is the feeling from an actual stock contributor who's been in the trenches for a while. They make a really important point. Success isn't about just spamming the platform with thousands of generic images. It's about having the skill and the market insight to know what customers actually need. That's a craft that takes years to build, which is the total opposite of the easy money story being sold online. All right, so if AI stock photos are pretty much a bust, what about that other huge promise? The automated, faceless YouTube channels. You've seen this one. The pitch is so seductive. Use AI to write your scripts, do your voiceovers, and find video clips. You basically create this content machine that earns you ad money while you sleep. But the second you start digging in, you hit the first major roadblock. Not all views are created equal. Not even close. Your choice of niche is everything. 1,000 views on a personal finance video could earn you 5 times more than 1,000 views on a simple entertainment video. If you get this wrong from the start, you're already fighting a losing battle. And you can just forget about quitting your job in 90 days. That is a flat-out myth. A realistic path shows you're actually going to be spending your own money for the first few months just trying to get off the ground. It can take a full year just to crack a few $100s a month. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long, slow grind. And here's the real killer. The one thing the gurus often forget to mention: YouTube's own rules. They have this inauthentic content policy that's aimed squarely at those low-effort, purely AI-generated videos. So if your channel is just a robot voice reading a generic script over some stock footage, you're not building a business. You're building a channel that is one click away from being demonetized and earning you absolutely nothing. So when you strip away all that hype, what are the people who are actually trying these hustles experiencing? Well, the feedback is unfiltered, and to be honest, it's pretty brutal. This comment about selling AI art just nails the two biggest problems. First, the market is flooded with generic, low-effort creations, what people are now calling AI slop. And second, the return on your time, it's just heartbreaking. $12 for 2 months of work? That's not a side hustle, that's a really poorly paid hobby. You can just feel the raw frustration in this comment, can't you? This is what happens when people actually sit down and do the math. They look at the hours they would have to pour into something like AI stock photos versus the tiny potential payout, and the whole idea just falls apart. The skepticism out there is real, and it's growing. And here, an expert from the Adobe community points out the fundamental flaw in the entire business model. The very same AI tools that make it easy for you to create also make it easy for your potential customers to do it themselves. I mean, why would a marketing agency pay you for an image when they can just type a prompt and get one for free in 30 seconds? Okay, so if the big, sexy, automated hustles are largely a bust, does that mean it's impossible to make money with AI? No, not at all. It just looks very, very different from what the gurus are selling. This right here is the crucial shift in thinking you have to make. The gurus promise these huge, scalable ideas like launch your own AI content agency. But the reality of what's actually making money for people is smaller, it's more personal, and it's service-based. It's not about building a faceless empire. It's about helping a local dentist write better marketing emails. And here's the key insight from the same person who made only $12 selling AI art. The real money isn't in selling the product of AI to a saturated market. It's in selling your AI knowledge as a service. It's about finding people and businesses who are totally overwhelmed by all this new technology and are more than happy to pay someone to just make the problem go away. So here's the playbook that people are reporting actually works. It's not about automation. It's about consultation. First, you find a niche, a profession that's a little behind the tech curve. Then, you find a small, annoying, repetitive task in their daily workflow. Use AI to solve that one specific problem. And then you charge a recurring monthly fee to be their go-to AI person. You're not selling a product, you're selling a solution, and you're selling them peace of mind. And really, that's the bottom line. The people who are finding success are using AI as a tool, a really powerful tool in their toolbox to do real work better and faster. They aren't looking for some magic easy button that replaces the need for skill or strategy or actually talking to a client. The work still has to get done. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Maybe we've been looking at this whole thing all wrong. Perhaps the true opportunity here isn't in the products that AI can create, but in bridging the massive knowledge gap for the millions of people who are just overwhelmed by it all and just want someone to help them make sense of it.